Hey, what's up? I'm gonna be reviewing a video called Turn Any Day into a Productive Day by Nika Erculj.
3 minutes, starting now.
Is that green leaf water, as in tea? I'm just gonna assume so. Because that man is trouble. A funny song to choose. Also, the tattoos.
Good morning, guys. It is Thursday today and we're doing another vlog. I'm about to go on my morning run, but I really wanted to film a vlog where I kind of share my tips and tricks to be more productive and actually like show it to you in action instead of just talking about it. My goal is not to be productive all the time. First of all, that's not possible. And also, like, I don't want that. I don't want a life where I'm working 24/7. I like to live my life. So all of
You're confusing being productive with being a slave in the system who works all the time, seeing as nobody wants to work. Anybody who would have the choice would choose not to work, obviously. Being productive doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. Being productive for a woman can simply mean producing children, which is joy, happiness. It feels great to be productive if you're actually naturally productive.
these things that I do to be more organized, more productive, have better time management, they're all in order for...
Yeah, organized time management. Time doesn't even exist. It's in your head. It's all part of being a slave in the system. Really, this video will be about you dealing with being a slave. That's really what most videos are about nowadays. They just don't get it.
Me to be more efficient so that I can get more done in less time and therefore have more time for everything that I want to do. One of the best things I've done for my efficiency and my productivity is to create a productivity style that's actually tailored to me, to figure out what works for me when I am my most productive and efficient and create a system around that. So for me, for example, I'm my most productive by far the first half of the day. So the earlier I wake up, the more of that time I have. And so that's why I really like to focus on my morning routine. That's why it's so important to me, because when I feel my best, I'm my most productive. So I like to work out in the mornings. I like to get up fairly early, do my little routine so I feel my best.
You need to feel good or at your best in the morning to work out, because you don't want to work out. That's the whole reason why you don't like it, why you need to feel good, as you say. You're just forcing yourself to do stuff which you don't actually want to do.
And then I'm so efficient the first half of the day that I get so much more done. Okay, I'm gonna start my little Run Club app and we're gonna go for a run.
Yeah, because you're gonna waste the energy that you have for the whole day now, which isn't a lot, clearly, because you consume tea which has caffeine. I assume. You didn't say what it was. I didn't see it. How can you then not be exhausted the rest of the day? Not wanting to do anything, of course. It has to be like that. You have to be in that kind of a state. The forced smile for the camera. You can cry, or you can at least look sad when you're running. We know how your face expression is when the camera is off. Like this. When is it gonna stop? Oh, please. No, not 10 more minutes. No, why am I doing this to myself? No, I just want to lay at home. I want to have a family. I want to take care of children, blah, 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 and so on. Everything that you really actually want. But no, instead you're running outside. It's autumn. Maybe it's a bit cold also, I guess, probably. It looks like it. You don't even really want to be doing any of this. Onions, avocado, and cashews And what is that? Don't tell me that's tofu. Please tell me that was cheese, but I really don't think so. Wow, oh my god, that looks really messed up, man. You have some 2 slices of grain sludge on the left side, just fiber, glyphosate to make you infertile. She also looks pretty thin, so she's already doing a good job to achieve that. And then just sugar, just nothing, just the worst slave food on earth on the left, bravo. Then some imported man-made avocados, which you would never find in your country, except if she lives in Mexico. I'm just gonna assume that she doesn't. And yeah, cashews, as I said, but I don't understand really what it was in the end. Tofu with salt? If it was cheese, it would be pretty good, but women nowadays don't eat any animal foods at all anymore, so I will just assume that it's not cheese. Nobody's gonna eat a huge block of cheese like that. They should, but they don't. Not that dairy is that good in itself, but compared to this garbage.
I'm showered, I did my run, I feel so good, and that is the whole point. You want to start your day.
You look completely different all of a sudden. What makeup does to people.
I put it into like 2-3 sections because I have a lot of hair. Again, we're doing minimal effort.
You won't have a lot of hair left if you continue eating this way.
See it somewhere and then plan it into your week. So I'm gonna go do that now, get my little journal out, and then we can take that and create a plan out of it. Also, one really random thing that I've realized helps me so much just when it comes to feeling my best and therefore being more productive is eating more protein and fats in the morning. Obviously, I'm not like a dietitian. Everyone's different, yada, I don't know. But I've just noticed.
Yes, you don't know. That's the only right thing you said. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. Everybody is not different. Every human being is the same. We all need to eat a lot of meat and fat, ideally raw meat and fat, the way we eat in nature. Organs, blood, possibly dairy if you want to, if it's accessible, if it's good quality milk. It would do you good for sure. Eating some avocados with tofu isn't gonna do anything, except if that wasn't tofu somehow magically. We'll see what else she does or eats.
For me, it helps me so much. So yeah, just maybe trying that out. I've also noticed a difference in my hormones. Just gives me so much energy throughout the day.
But if that was tofu, then it has phytoestrogens, which disrupts your hormones.
I don't feel like sluggish and tired after eating, which obviously you don't want when you're just starting your day. So it's just something to...
Yeah, it shouldn't be the case after any meal, if you would be eating naturally.
Maybe research, try out, it really helps me, so I thought I would mention that. Okay, let's write the list. Okay, slight intermission. I just got a package that I'm so excited about. Was this needed? Probably not. Okay, I'm gonna say that up front. Is it a big want? Yes. Okay, oh, wrong side. I got boots. And I've been looking for perfect boots. Were these insane?
I'm gonna have to skip this. This is so boring for me. I don't understand how girls watch this. Guys usually don't show off their clothes, shoes or whatever. Girls very often show off their dresses, new top and shoes. I almost want to die when I see it. It's just so super uninteresting to me. It really can get worse. Shopping for clothes in general almost kills me.
So this is how it ends up looking like. I just have different categories. I use appointments, random, admin, and other work, and then I just brain dump it all. And then I go into my Notion life design planner. I always have it linked down below. I think there's a promo code, so I think it should be valid until Sunday. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll have that down below. This whole template is pretty complex. There's a lot included, but the whole planning section, weekly planning, is very simple. That just works for me. So I just write it. Today's Thursday, so I just write a normal to-do list and I'm going to do the rest of this week. So whatever's in here, I'm going to plan it into the next few days and next week. And then I like to use Google Calendar for appointments, anything where there's a deadline basically. So that's what I use. My whole system to like plan my days is super, super simple. I just feel like that's the only way I actually stick to it. The tip that transformed my productivity so much.
I don't really get where the productivity is in this video. Is it just her writing her appointments on a piece of paper, putting man-made symbols on it, which tell her when to go to the appointment? Wow, cool.
Probably more than honestly anything. That's bothering me so much. We're just gonna ignore that. It goes hand in hand with what I talked about at the beginning of the video, which is like figuring out when you work best and tailoring your productivity, your organization methods, time management, all of that based on when you are your most productive and when you feel your best. So for me, for example, I'm super productive at the beginning of the week, especially Monday. Like Monday is my day. I love Mondays. And I'm the most productive the first half of the day until lunch. So
in all of these being productive videos, they just throw around this word, I'm productive then, and blah, blah, blah. But none of them actually realize where the word productive comes from. It's when you produce something. Here, if you look at the definition, it's having the quality or power of producing, especially in abundance, which is really what I meant. You produce something that's actually visible, of course, because you have to be able to sense it. It has to be real. It's not some appointments in your head, and not even some symbols that you write on a piece of paper. What do you produce when you do that? It's just not what an animal naturally actually does. You would be producing offspring as an animal. That's the most important production of your body. And you just see kind of nothing. She's alone in her apartment, doing nothing really so far.
Big brain tasks, like tasks where I really need to think, put a lot of mental energy into it, are admin tasks. So I like to group them all together into that time slot when I am my most productive. So that is literally my whole method. Like that has literally transformed me. I am so much more efficient. I get things done so much quicker, which means I have more time to do whatever the hell I want outside of work, because I'm not one of those people that's like, wake up at 4 a.m., grind. I want to live my life, okay? And
That's good, of course. Would be interesting to see what she actually does when she's having fun, if she is. To her, it seems like being productive means working, being a slave in the system for your boss, whatever she does. I didn't really understand what her job is. She's an administrator?
my admin tasks, because there's a lot to get done. So I want to bang as many of them out as possible because I have a meeting after. So let's see how much we're able to do.
This is so funny to me. This is her being productive, making some kind of calls and typing on the keyboard. Yeah, that's just how removed from nature we are today. She's pretty. She could easily, obviously, find somebody to have a family with. Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she's hormonally unhealthy, which must be the case anyway. But maybe it's that severe that she doesn't even want to have children, in the sense that her body just isn't ready because of how malnourished she is. All that we saw was the breakfast, which was pretty horrible. That would lower your reproduction drive to the point where you would never even think about it. She also goes for a run. Running in that kind of a diet, yeah, you're never really going to think about reproducing, because it's a sick state that she's in. I think that was more tea, and she added honey to it because tea tastes horrible, it's toxic, and that's why you add sugar to it. Very typical. That's what everybody does.
I just dropped a really, really heavy cutting board on my foot. So while I ice this, I'm gonna have my cup of tea and we're gonna chat about something that also changed my productivity, which is taking frequent breaks. Please hang in there. I know you're like, duh. I, for some reason, didn't used to do this. I'm like one of those people where I really don't have trouble focusing, which I'm really grateful.
This video seems really pointless. You could just straight away tell from the beginning already that she's just empty. There's just really just depression in her eyes. It's just a completely unfulfilled life because there's no children running around. And she also eats a horrible diet, don't get me wrong. Children wouldn't fix her life for sure. And she doesn't want to have children because of her bad diet. She would need to start eating a lot of animal fat, actual real animal protein, pop in some raw healthy eggs, and then you all of a sudden want to reproduce, you have this drive. And then when you're actually healthy, you have children. But she instead runs, her body fat is pretty low. She eats a vegan or plant-based diet, from what it seems like, which is a disaster in itself. And she just sits all day typing and doing nothing. Yeah, it's horrible. It's not how any animal on this earth should be living.
Before, but I kind of got this mindset like back in school that's like I'm either fully working, full focus, no distractions, or I'm relaxing. Like in my mind there is no in between, just because it feels like a waste of my time to be working but then I'm like distracting myself doing 10 billion things at once. Like I just feel like that's such a waste of time, and because of that I forgot to take breaks. I would work non-stop for 3 hours and I can do that, but then I feel so incredibly drained.
Yeah, exactly, because it's exhausting. It's stressful, you don't want to do it, which is why you feel like that. If you do something that you like doing, then you don't want breaks because you don't even want it to end. That's how it is if you live naturally. If you, for example, would be taking care of your children, then you would want to do it. If the children would be healthy, don't confuse it with children who are on some kind of medicine full of sugar, endocrine disruptors and so on. The children of today are sick, really, which is why it's hard to take care of them. I'm talking about healthy, calm, happy children. It's a joy to be around them, obviously your own especially, and you would be enjoying it all the time. You wouldn't need any breaks. My point is simply that you're doing something that you really don't need to be doing, obviously. In the system as a slave, yes, but for sure not to be happy.
My mind feels like it's mush and I need like at least an hour to recover, and that's just not very sustainable.
Yeah, then you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Straight up, you know it. Yeah.
If you need to work more than 3 hours in a day, which most of us do. So I literally one day I sat down and I was like, this is not working. And I wrote down ideas for breaks that would help me. Call me type A, call me annoying. And this is how I like to solve my issues, okay? I wrote like short breaks, like 5 to 10 minutes, and just wrote ideas. And some of these are so like simple, but obviously this wasn't a habit for me at all. So it's literally opening the window, stepping outside, airing out my home, or making a cup of tea, which I just did. Drinking that.
Yeah, but the reason you make the tea is to adrenalize your body. It's similar to coffee.
Just breathing, looking at air. So I do that like every 45 minutes to an hour, just so I can keep the focus going for longer than 3 hours. And then at certain points, like after 2 hours-ish, I take a longer break. So very often that's a walk, and I go to the grocery store on the way, or I get those.
Look at the clothes she's wearing, how it's over the hands. A typical sign of being cold. Reminds me of the Sun Flute girl. Yeah, she probably doesn't produce a lot of body heat. Obviously, how can she? With this kind of a diet. Oh, something interesting at last. This video is pretty bad overall. It's pretty hard to watch it. There's just nothing going on. Yeah, it's just horrible. Just green leaves, literally zero nutrients, not even micronutrients. Trace amounts of some kind of minerals and water-soluble vitamins, which are the plant versions. we need to be converted, your body can't do it, it's just malnutrition. And then peppers, I guess, or tomatoes, I think it's peppers, which are a fruit, which is better than eating vegetables. It's fruits mixed with leaves, which don't even have really any carbohydrates, hardly any. Not that she needs them necessarily, she needs a lot of fat and meat, but at least she would be getting some kind of macronutrient out of it. No, she's not even getting that. Oh, this is just starvation.
We are done. I am so happy. I am a bit drained right now.
She also, how old is this girl? Let me check. Okay, I looked it up. She's 26. I thought that she looks pretty exhausted, obviously, but it's just her diet also. She doesn't even eat anything all day long. She's 26 still, but in like 5 years from now, she's gonna have insanely many wrinkles, pretty bad dark eye circles, under eye bags, because this kind of a lifestyle is just death. It's good that she doesn't do heavy lifting in the gym like some crazy girls, but still, her diet is terrible. She also goes for a run, and then she stresses herself mentally, which can also be really bad all day long.
Oh, I had my little salad, took my evening supplements at 6. Usually I like to be done.
Supplements also on. You can just see again the clothes because she's cold. Oh man, somebody needs to save this girl. She could be doing really well in life. I guess that she doesn't work a typical job. I think that she only does YouTube from what I understood, which is good in the sense that it shouldn't be as stressful. I don't know what else she does there with those appointments. But still, it seems like it's too much for her. Somebody just needs to wake her up. She needs to eat a good diet. She needs a good man by her side.
With work by 5 or even earlier, but I had a lot to catch up with today, so.
You can see the dark eye circles. They're just not very visible, but for sure, it's gonna get a lot worse over the years.
That's fine. I'm gonna do my little night routine. I always clean up a little bit, whatever gets messy throughout the day, and then take a shower, do my skincare, and then I have something really exciting planned that I've been looking forward to for so long. So let's do it.
Her hands also look a bit blue. Maybe it's the lighting. Kind of blue-red, typical kind of anemic, aged, malnourished look. I guess that she removed the makeup from her face. Why did she use the makeup at all? For the video? Or because she went outside for a run? She didn't even go outside, really. What was the point?
We have successfully made it to my bed where I'll be spending the next few hours, which I'm so excited about. I've got my computer here, I got a YouTube video queued up, and I have my scrapbook / album. I don't really know what it is, but where can I put you? I talked about this in my last video, my monthly reset. I've been wanting more hobbies and just for my day-to-day life to be a bit more exciting.
Yeah, because you're not doing anything that you're naturally supposed to. That's the only kind of people who look for hobbies.
Now, I don't know if you would call this exciting. I would, okay? I'm very excited. I got this while I was in London. It says, "It's a Beautiful Life." And
London?
it looks like a nice coffee book.
Wow, that is so exciting. Oh my god, man, this is just pure depression. This is almost as bad as that Siberian girl eating pine cones. That's really the closest video that I've seen to that kind of atmosphere. This ended up being pretty sad, actually. She went out for a run. She only ate plant foods all day long. As far as I understood, some salad with no micro or even really macronutrients, very little amounts. She must have eaten something else, of course, also. I really hope. She must have. It's impossible that she didn't. But this is exactly how you lose weight, disrupt your hormones, and just become unhappy. No joy, no so-called excitement, as she said. Just absolute emptiness, just sitting in her apartment all day, typing on the keyboard, calling people, which is fine as far as a job goes. There's way worse jobs than that. In this slave system, it's one of the best jobs that you can have. But when you have no boyfriend, as far as we could see, or nobody who loves you, your family around you, imagine her in a family house together with her family, would be very different. She goes to work in her room, and then she goes out with her mom and dad and her siblings, and they do something in between. Totally different atmosphere, but this is just like being in a cage. That's exactly what it seemed like. She was sitting in her dark apartment all day long, which also looked kind of small. I wonder where she lives, because she talked about London. Don't tell me that she moved to the UK for some reason. Then it's even way worse. Way worse. That would explain her mood, actually. Then it wouldn't even help going outside, because the weather outside is horrible. Everybody around you is also depressed. Then she needs to change a lot about her life. I really hope for the best. She's still 26. She could change everything. Thanks for watching.